Congratulations, Todd Baxter, on winning your election for Monroe County, New York Sheriff. If you recall, the last time I saw you, I was with my daughter at the Park Ave Festival. You were very nice to us. You said hi to my daughter. We talked for a little bit. And believe it or not, I knew you would win. Let me explain why I say that. My dad, Mario Vara, who, as you well know, was a pioneer in cop watching, was a police accountability activist here in Rochester, New York. He used to say that when it came to Rochester, New York, and Monroe County, New York, the officials and the politicians had deep roots. As you also well know, Patrick O'Flynn, I now can say former Monroe County, New York Sheriff Patrick O'Flynn, was the number 2 man under Andrew Maloney, Monroe County, New York Sheriff Andrew Maloney. In other words, he was a holdover from an old administration within the Monroe County, New York Sheriff's Office. Obviously, he went on to become sheriff. And since he did, the Monroe County, New York Sheriff's Office has lacked accountability, transparency, and integrity. And I really believe that people were ready for a change. I believe that people finally woke up in Monroe County and realized enough is enough. So again, sir, congratulations on your win. I want to say something. We obviously will never agree on everything. But I want you to know that I respect you. I respect you and the service that you have given to our country. And as someone who has given the service that you have, sir, I hope that even though we obviously, like I said, will not agree on everything, it's not about that. I sincerely hope that you, at the very least, as an American, would respect my rights as an American, born right here in Rochester, New York. My right to free speech and my right to advocate, like I have for many years, continuing my dad's work for police accountability. Again, I want this to be clear. I respect you. You have always shown me respect when we have spoken. And again, congrats. Now what? That is my question to you, sir. As Monroe County, New York Sheriff, you have a very big job ahead of you. I'm sure you know this already. This morning on the radio, I happened to catch a little bit of an interview with Jamie Romeo from the Monroe County, New York Democratic Committee. She spoke very well of you, sir, and she spoke about issues that you will have to address. However, Ms. Romeo started talking about issues in the Monroe County Jail. She mentioned power outages. I kept listening and waiting for her to continue. That's all she said. Power outages. Power outages? With all respect, Sheriff Baxter, I understand you haven't been sworn in yet, but I'm giving you that respect of one of the first people to call you Sheriff Baxter. There are a lot more issues at the Monroe County Jail than power outages. For years, there have been very questionable deaths in the jail. From Kevin Sylar, who Monroe County Sheriff's deputies insisted was able to bring a loaded gun after being searched thoroughly, and who, according to them, committed suicide when he was being booked, to several other deaths that have been very suspicious in the jail. That's one thing that I ask you to please bring transparency to and accountability, Sheriff Baxter. Another thing that I would like to speak to you about. It's easy to label someone a cop hater, like many have labeled me. It's much more harder to ask oneself, why is Davy V the way he is? What happened to Davy V in his life to make him have this passion and this commitment to expressing himself and exercising his First Amendment right to record and to free speech? At a very young age, Rochester, New York police officers Randall Rambo Benjamin and Mark Mariano terrorized me and my family at gunpoint. They broke into our home with no warrant. They threatened to shoot my dog. They assaulted me. They jacked me up against the wall. They laughed at my brother. They ransacked our whole house, again with no warrant. They broke my trophies. They overturned mattresses. They overturned dresser drawers. They violated our constitutional rights. I was 16 years old. From that day forward, forever changed how I looked at police. I'll wrap up with this. As sheriff, please bring something that has been missing to the Monroe County, New York Sheriff's Office. Please implement interaction between deputies and young people. At 16, my life and the way I looked at police officers changed. A young mind is very impressionable, as I'm sure you know, sir. Please try your hardest to reach out to the community and to make a difference, especially when it comes to the youths. Don't wait until there's an incident, a domestic incident, or until they are arrested. Do it before that. Reach out to the youth. Show the youth that there's more to policing than what we see on the news and on social media about corrupt cops abusing their power. Show them that you care about them. I would like you to make that a big part of your being new sheriff. Again, congratulations on your win. I'm very happy for you and your family. And remember one thing, it's very easy to label someone. It's much more harder to ask oneself why. Why is this guy Davy V the way he is? What happened to him? Because you see, when one asks those questions, it forces oneself to open a door. A door that, let's be honest, many times we don't want to open. Sheriff Baxter, please make a difference. Please bring integrity, accountability, and transparency to the Monroe County, New York Sheriff's Office.